Has anyone ever told you that if you eat a watermelon seed, you'd grow a watermelon in your belly? How about if you swallowed your gum that it would take 7 years to digest? Or if you sit too close to the TV, your eyes are going to cross. Or if you make a silly face, it's going to get stuck that way. I mean, no wonder we have trust issues. Everyone, how's it going? I'm Kira Wackett, your host of the Untethering Shame podcast and active participant in this collaborative journey to shame resilience. Today is a super powerful episode to me, and to be honest, it was hard to choose just 5 things to focus on. But at least for part 1, let's explore 5 lies that we were told as children and the impact that they've had on us in our daily lives. See, as children, many of us were told things that we later discovered weren't true. Now, we can all agree my examples are harmless lies that we can laugh about now, but that's not all we were told. And unfortunately for many of us, we're now not only unlearning these silly stories, but many other untruths as well. And many that have had a lasting negative impact on our lives and are root issues many of my clients and likely you are still holding on to. So let's nip some of these in the bud. Here are the 5 biggest ones that I see in my practice right now. First of all, crying makes you weak. The patriarchy had a lot to do with this and the belief that we should all learn how to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and get on with life. But the reality here is that crying is a natural and effective way of expressing our emotions. In fact, it's one of the primary ways our body can move through and complete the stress cycle and can help your body release tension and pain. The second is you as a person are dramatic, extra, or too much. Learning how to identify and express our feelings in healthy and complete ways is essential to our well-being. Using words like dramatic is a subjective interpretation of how you react in a given moment. It's okay to have big feelings and to sometimes be overwhelmed about how to express them. That's part of the learning process, and you are not broken or a problem because how you express or feel your emotions looks different than from what other people do. Third, children should be seen and not heard. Now, this one still shows its face today, just with a slightly more passive-aggressive spin by shutting kids down or quieting them using devices. In truth, every human has the right to feel seen, safe, and heard. What you think, feel, need, and want matters. And the reason many of us struggle to believe that as adults is the story that we developed as kids. You don't make the world better by making yourself small, silencing your opinions, or going with the flow. Your voice has a right to be heard. All of ours does. And learning how to share our voice in kind, open, authentic ways is one of the best things that we can do for ourselves and for the impact that we can have in this world. Fourth, because I said so is a good enough reason for kids to listen. Asking why is one of the most powerful discovery tools as kids and adults. We need to create systems where why is not seen as a threat, but as an opportunity to create buy-in and understanding. When we act on a request, we become responsible for that action. So it's important we understand what we're doing and how that fits into the bigger picture of our goals, whether it's a parent telling their kid what to do or a corporate CEO making a demand of their employees. It's also a great way for us as the enforcer to check in with why something does or doesn't need to happen, and in some cases can help us see that not everything is as intense as it feels. And finally, if I have to ask, it means they don't care, or I shouldn't have to ask. Asking for what you want is a sign of empowerment and assertive communication. Knowing what you feel and how to articulate it is a skill that enhances connection and allows others to show up more directly for you. Expecting people should be able to read our minds or just know what we need is unfair to you and the other party. It centralizes us in their story and puts them in a position where they can and will let us down, reinforcing our beliefs that we were never worth showing up for to begin with. It's also a protective mechanism as it strips you of potentially being rejected in a direct request. Look, if you need something, ask for it. If you're looking for someone to do or say something, tell them. That doesn't take away from the meaning if they do or say what you ask. It means they're learning how to show up for you and have reinforced their willingness to do so. Now, obviously, there are so many other stories, biases, untruths to be unlearned, some universal and some specific to each of us and our own experiences. It can feel daunting and honestly a little unsettling to think that so much about how we show up in the world is rooted to stories we're learning aren't actually true. Let yourself feel however you feel as you sit in this. Allow yourself to be angry, annoyed, let down, whatever that is, that's part of the process of healing. Remind yourself you, as you are fully, are allowed to be here and take up space no matter what anyone else has said or you've come to believe. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen, and I hope you found it valuable. Now, I'd love to hear from you anything that came up in this episode. If there's a specific one of these lies that's sticking with you most or that you're going to really work on letting go of, or anything else that came up for you while I was talking. So make sure that you fill out the comments, complete the poll, or send me a voice memo so that we can connect and I can continue to support and learn from all of you as well. Now, if you found today's episode valuable and insightful, I encourage you to subscribe, leave a review, hit that 5-star button, and of course, share this episode with someone you think could benefit from hearing it. If you're ready to take that next step in your own shame resilience journey, be sure to click the link in the show notes to download my free handout, 5 things shame resilient people do every day and 3 things they don't. And if you're looking for more ways to connect, you'll find links to my website and YouTube channel below, as well as a link to set up a discovery call to go over any questions you have about program offerings or next steps in the shame resilience journey. Thank you again for tuning in. And remember, change takes time, but every step counts. So stay the course, stay hopeful, and stay committed to your well-being. We'll be back with more insightful discussions to support you on your journey. Until then, take care, and we'll catch you next episode.